That
so
is.
Are we starting from the engine, or are we starting
From the? We're gonna start from the cooling.
Yeah, left to right.
Start from the coolant.
What you do is
and that's where it is or something like that.
open up the hood,
Cool
open
it.
up the lid. You make sure this one's on kill switch in the middle. We're going to be working from left to right. This one's we want to check our coolant, which is going to the radiator. We want to check and see your green level, if there's any either here or here. If you don't see any green here, then you open, do not open when it's hot. When it's cool, you can open it up, and if you see some dripping, then that means the level of coolant is okay. Okay, then you want to come to your hoses. You want to make sure they're not together. You want to make sure they're connected. You want to make sure there's no leaks. They're not damaged in any way. Okay. Then you have your water hose that goes to your water pump, which is gear driven. Okay. And then you want to check. This is your oil filler. Make sure it's secure. It's on a spring, so you want to make sure that the spring works on it. Okay? No leaks. No leaking at all. This is your oil dipstick. You want to pull it out and check it to make sure it's at the minimum max level. And then you put it in, make sure it's secure, tight, no leaking, no damage. Okay? You can come transmission the water pump. Okay. You come here to your transmission fluid, and you pull it out, and you make sure it's at the minimum max level. You put it back in, make sure it's secure, tight, no leaks. You come here to your engine block, make sure there's no drippings of oil, anything, no drippings, nothing. Okay, and then come here to your alternator. This is your alternator, make sure the bolts are tight, no damage, no cracks. When you come to your belt, this is belt driven. Did I miss something? Oh, you want to make sure all your connections are intact, no damage, no leaks. Okay. And then again, this is your alternator. You want to make sure there's no damage, no cracks, all the bolts are tight. Coming to your belt, make sure there's no grease, no oil on the belt, because it's belt driven. And then you want to make sure that there's no more than 3/4 play in the belt. Okay. And then in the back, we have our power steering, and it also has a power steering fluid that's back there. It has a dipstick, but we cannot see it. The mechanics have to check the level for the power steering. Then also back there we have our air conditioning pump, and they are both gear driven. Air compressor. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Air compressor, and they're both gear driven. Okay, then we come here to our air conditioner. Now this is belt driven. Okay, you gotta make sure there's no damage. There's no damage to it. And this is also, you want to check on the belt, you want to check for there's no grease, there's no oil. You want to check for, it has to be no more than 3/4 play in the belt. And you want to check all your hoses, make sure there's no damage, no frays, they're connected, they're secure. Making sure
no leaks.
And no leaks. Making sure your wires, there's no damage to them, and there are also no hanging, no loose wires. And then you want to check your exhaust. Go all the way, make sure there's no black soot on them, and there's no damage to it. And is there anything I missed?
Got it.
Did I miss anything?
This has been your pre-trip inspection by none other than
Sharon Riff.
That's right.
Woo-hoo!